Hey guys, Joel and Dharma here, back with our reactions of Dog. We're now on to episode 8 of season 1, and I'm going to hand you over to Dharma for a small recap.
Okay, so last episode we found out that the gateway goes both ways confirmed because the messenger turned up and told Jonas that he can't interfere with Mikkel being his dad, that he can't tell him anything because it'll create a paradox and he wouldn't be there in the first place to send him back.
True.
So that was confusing. We also found that they have prior knowledge to getting the rooms prepared. So there was the messenger and the priest man in there cleaning up blood and stuff. A new date was added to the wall.
I didn't get that. I don't know whether we're supposed to get that or not.
Yeah,
yet. There was
sure
two dates very close to each other.
Yeah, and Charlotte finally managed to gain access to the nuclear power plant and found the room where they were storing all of that nuclear waste. Yeah. Obviously, it's empty now, but there was like some paint chips on there that should, if she gets it tested, go back to showing that it was holding nuclear barrels.
And then she found the other door through the other way that was welded shut.
Exactly. Yeah. And Ulrich has finally figured out that the boy is possibly his brother.
Yes. Yeah. Right. We'll leave it at that. We'll get straight on with things. So, we'll find out what the heck's going to happen next. This is episode 8. Yeah. Definitely 50s. You can just tell, just from that one scene, just because of his clothes and the bag.
Yeah.
Die Arbeiter haben diese beiden Leichen heute Morgen gefunden.
Oh my...
Das sind ja noch Kinder. Sie sehen seltsam
What?
But that's before. That's the future side of it.
Correct.
So these two things aren't connected.
Wo waren wir stehen geblieben?
Bei der Einstein-Rosenbrücke.
Wow.
Eine Passage zwischen einem schwarzen Loch, dem Eintrittsloch, und einem weißen Loch, dem Austrittsloch, die Raum und Zeit.
He's found it.
It's the Ouroboros snake eating itself.
Haben Sie schon mal was von der Triketta gehört? Ohne eine dritte Dimension ist nichts vollkommen. Es gibt nicht nur ein Oben und ein Unten. Es gibt auch eine Mitte. Ein Wurmloch verbindet nicht nur 2, sondern 3 Dimensionen miteinander. Zukunft, Gegenwart und Vergangenheit.
Don't think you want to go in there, my friend.
That wind. I think I figured out what that is. Why it's like that. Inside there is your vortex.
Yeah.
Na, mein Junge, was hast du denn wieder angestellt?
Ich war auf der Baustelle.
Ja, schön. Naja, was haben Sie denn gefunden?
Rumgekrochen ist er wieder.
Auf der Baustelle, da war alles voller Polizei.
Polizei?
2 Leichen, mitten auf der Baustelle.
Was redest du denn da?
Die sahen aus wie Kinder.
Bist du dir sicher?
Interessant auch, dass die Uhren vollkommen zerstört sind.
Same thing.
Und das ist noch nicht das einzig Merkwürdige. Hatte jeder um den Hals. Die Prägung stammt aus dem Jahr 1986.
Soll das ein Witz sein?
Yeah.
Schauen Sie, der kleine Zettel im Kragen.
The tags, the trainers.
Brands that don't exist. Made in China.
That's impossible back then.
Made in China?
Sind definitiv nicht von hier. Der Junge hier hat ein südländisches Aussehen oder arabisch, würde ich sagen. Der Rothaarige, weiß ich nicht.
Child curiosity. Look how knobbly his knees are, bless him.
Sie schreiben über den lunar-solaren Zyklus, in dem sich alle 33 Jahre alles wiederholt.
Ja, aus kosmischer Sicht, ja. Dantes 33 Lieder an das Fegefeuer und 33 an den Himmel.
Und das ist das Alter, in dem der Antichrist seine Herrschaft beginnt.
Excuse me?
unendlich großen, dunklen Raum und leuchten nach links. Es gibt keinen Grund anzunehmen, warum er von rechts wieder auf uns zurücktreffen soll. Aber ein Wurmloch verändert die Topologie
Fall in
der
space.
Raumzeit.
Yeah.
Nichts ist mehr da, wo es hingehört.
Some eyes this, hasn't he?
I want that outfit.
Wir sind nicht von hier. Ich suche die Killinger Straße 61.
Da wohne ich. Das ist die Straße runter und dann rechts.
Mein Name ist Agnes Nielsen. Und ist mein Sohn Tronte. Wir sind neu in Winden.
Guten Tag.
Confused much?
Du bist Tronte Nielsen
Yeah.
und Sie sind Agnes Nielsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stellen Sie sich vor, Sie würden in die Vergangenheit reisen
Ja.
und dort auf Ihren Vater treffen,
Freak most people
der Sie
out.
gezeugt hat.
Der HG Tannhaus?
Ja. Nein, da wird doch nicht derselbe, was?
Yes.
Welches Jahr haben wir? Welches Jahr?
1953.
Du bist spät. Ich hatte schon mal gesagt, dass du pünktlich sein sollst. Claudia, ich habe das Geld zu Hause vergessen. Ich bring's dann später vorbei.
Mein Mann ist nicht so oft zu Hause. Der arbeitet bei der Polizei. Manchmal denke ich, er glaubt, er ist ganz allein verantwortlich für diese Stadt. Ja, wollen wir uns dann oben mal umschauen, ja? Claudia, zeigst du dem Jungen nachher die Umgebung, ja?
Haben Sie schon gehört, was die Polizei heute Morgen gefunden hat?
There we go.
Aber ich bin mir sicher, du wirst es mir gleich erzählen.
Man hat auf der Baustelle vom Doppler 2 Leichen gefunden. 2 kleine Jungen. Die wurden von Außerirdischen entführt. Für Experimente.
Let's go.
You need to be less intense.
Yeah. He's become really intense. Left his jacket.
Oh, they've left his phone and stuff in there, won't they?
Oh no. You're gonna have way too many accidents.
Wir können dieses Phänomen nutzbar machen, indem wir die neutroneninduzierte Spaltung in Kernreaktoren wirtschaftlich nutzen. Das erste deutsche Atomkraftwerk und bringen der Gemeinde auf Dauer damit Stabilität und Wohlstand.
It's what they thought.
Das
It's
Kernkraftwerk.
nothing
Ich
to do
sprach
with
gerade
that.
mit dem Stadtrat, es geht um die endgültige Baugenehmigung. Und da tauchen zufällig einen Tag vorher 2 Kinderleichen auf dem Gelände auf.
Das sind unsere Höhlen. Man darf nicht tief rein, aber wir machen es trotzdem manchmal. Mutprobe, verstehst du?
Wieso wollen Sie das wissen? Mein Sohn ist verschwunden. Alles, was ich wissen will, ist, dass Sie mir sagen, ob eins der toten Kinder mein Kind ist. Er heißt Mikkel, ist 11 Jahre alt, hat braune Haare, blaue Augen, ist ungefähr so groß. Ich habe ein Foto. Schauen Sie mal die Jacke. Der ist doch besoffen. Kennen Sie einen Doppler? Helge Doppler?
Den Jungen von Bernd Doppler?
Nein, nicht jung, alt, etwa 70.
In alt gibt es nur Bernd Doppler.
Eine Zeitschleife hat erheblichen Einfluss auf das Kausalitätsprinzip. Auf das Verhältnis von Ursache und Wirkung. Nicht nur die Vergangenheit beeinflusst die Zukunft, sondern auch die Zukunft die Vergangenheit.
Du bist Helge Doppler, oder?
Ja, wieso? Haben Sie den Mann gefunden, den Sie suchen?
Ja.
Whoa, whoa, Rick, what are you gonna do?
Mein Sohn.
You need to be careful here.
Später. Aber ich kann das ändern. Weißt du? Ich kann die Vergangenheit ändern. Und die Zukunft.
Yeah.
Whoa, I knew that was coming.
If he does this.
Can you do it?
Yeah, can you do it? Not many could. What the fuck?
What kind of copper are you? You should beat a child's head in. That's the blood they were clearing off.
Jede unserer Taten nur eine Antwort auf eine vorangegangene Tat. Ursache, Wirkung. Nichts als ein unendlicher Tanz. Alles ist miteinander verbunden.
Wow, look at that.
Ich werde das Gefühl nicht los, dass Sie eigentlich wegen etwas anderem hier sind.
Ihre Theorie der Entstehung von Wurmlöchern durch Gravitationswellenimpulse ist nicht nur Theorie.
Ja, die knows.
Es gibt ein solches Loch. Hier in Winden. Ich komme aus der Zukunft. Ich bin durch dieses Wurmloch nach 1986 gereist.
Wo haben Sie das her?
Er ist kaputt. Sie müssen ihn reparieren.
Das kann ich nicht. Der kann ein Wurmloch erzeugen.
Er öffnet ein Portal, durch das man 33 Jahre in die Vergangenheit und 33 Jahre in die Zukunft reisen kann, ja.
Hat das der Apparat gemacht?
Nein.
No.
Vor wenigen Monaten gab es einen Störfall im Kernkraftwerk und dabei ist Energie freigesetzt worden. Und der Apparat ist jedenfalls in der Lage, den gleichen Prozess zu wiederholen.
Und Sie wollen jetzt ein weiteres Wurmloch erschaffen?
Nein, ich will das Bestehende zerstören. Ich muss das alles wieder gerade biegen. Und Sie müssen mir dabei helfen.
You've got another one, haven't you?
Is it another one? Or is it the same one?
That's what I mean. The one that started it. Yeah.
Go on. Have
No,
a peek.
you had a strange
have a peek.
person.
Have a peek.
You had a strange person. Check.
He was rather weird.
There we go.
Shit. Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you? You wouldn't know what it is. You screwed up everything. It was just hit with the rock. Has that massive scar on his face. Right. That was rather a big, important, revealing, shocking episode. I don't even know how to start.
Well,
go on.
As we've just discussed there then, the reason that Helga in the 80s has that huge amount of scarring on his face is because Ulrich decided to bash his skull in 1953.
And I think the reason why he thinks at this point, Ulrich, that he's probably killed him, but I don't think he has.
No.
Because the guy has that scar. I don't think, from what they're saying, you know, all because of it's all interconnected and the future. In effect, that is just what the guy was saying there. It isn't just the past that can have an effect. The future can too. So something that happens in the future can have an effect on the past, not just the other way around. That's how you get this cause and effect, where you can have it the other way around.
Yeah.
Because in effect, something from the future, Ulrich, at his age now, with the knowledge of the future, has come to the past and thinks he can change the past, and it's not letting him.
Well, it's not that.
That's why he's still alive.
He has given him the scars that we recognise from the 1986. So you've always done it.
So we've had this in sci-fi all the time. All hundreds of times in sci-fi they do this. The scar he has that you've always known he has, ever before this day took place and you ended up back in 1953, has always happened. You always found him, you always hit him over the head with that rock to create the scars. You are just catching up with the event for the first time. You're experiencing it for the first time now. But in the past, it's already happened.
Yeah, so that's the point of it. That's what's going on with that nexus of the wormholes of the triquetra.
Now then, what he's just explained about I'm just going to call it the device.
Yes.
That thing. We saw him tinkering with it in a previous episode. And he's got the brand new version of it that he made sat right there, and he's got the exact same version of it from the future. So it isn't, he actually said, does this create wormholes? No, it doesn't. It can allow the travel, but it's only because of what happened at the power plant.
Yes.
So there's a blast of energy from the power plant, which is obviously all tied in with why all the lights go off and why all the birds fall out the sky. It's got to be some sort of massive electromagnetic pulse. Of some kind. I'm just surmising, I'm just guessing here, that this thing is able to harness. And that's why we're having these 33-year cycles.
Yeah.
Because he's just explained all the theory behind wormholes and a causality loop.
Yeah, so wherever this has happened underneath in the caves it's tied into that area now. So that energy that was released has opened this wormhole permanently. It's there. Yeah. You could travel between the 3 different points in time.
Correct.
And someone knows about it to block it off to begin with, and you can't get to it without the map, but obviously Ulrich found like the little
just as
theory
Jonas
there to get
did.
in there. Yeah.
Because he's left it there to be found. And he did that map for Jonas. But the messenger at the same time now there has just revealed to us what he wants to do. How and why he wants to change everything. He's set everything back on its path, and he wants to destroy the current wormhole bubble that exists and create a new one, because as he said, the whole town is involved in this. It's all interconnected and it's a festering wound. All of it needs to stop. It needs to be reset. And to reset it, you've got to reset it in all 3 time periods. And the only way to do that is to collapse the original wormhole that the power plant created.
Yes.
Am I right with that? Yeah,
I agree with that. And he said in our 2019 timeline that he's seen the future, and this is why he needs the device repairing. So if this still works off the 33 cycle, which it will do, something's coming in the future that we don't know yet, but apparently it's worth all this effort to get this device working and to do whatever it is that he wants to do. What I'm concerned about is the mention of the word Antichrist and Noah being a priest and just generally being a shady dude. I want to know if
it only gave us just a little hint of that in this episode at the beginning, so I think we need to know more about that first.
And I don't mean that Antichrist as in the full biblical reference. I mean about the person who comes along who brings about end times or changes things to their own benefit.
Changes past events or effects to bring about what they're wanting to do.
The heck happened to Helga that his family opened the power plant, and in the 80s he's working security? Shouldn't he be running the damn thing?
Yeah, he should.
Shouldn't that have passed down? I'm sure, people with money train up the people.
He's
acting what's happened to him.
Conspiracy theorists and all of that lot ended up with some sort of demotion from it and pulled away from it. I don't know. That was the thing I was going to say. So him in the shop now, there, finding Ulrich's coat and finding a smartphone and not knowing what the hell it is, he obviously keeps hold of that long enough, at least, for him to come up with that book that he eventually writes about time, because he showed him the book.
Yes. Now the book, the artist, sorry, not the artist, the author photo on the back tells you that the book is written close to the time that we see him, because he's an old man on the back cover. But that phone, I think, helps him build the device in the first place.
Could very well do.
Because that device is knocking around, and I think that's when he decides to start playing around with it, because he has physical, empirical proof in his hand that time travel is possible.
And if we go way back to the beginning of the episode with the police finding these 2 kids, the 2 dead bodies, what is going to come of that? Because they're not just going to... Police don't just find something that's unusual, strange, peculiar, unexplained, and just go, well, we don't know who killed them, close the case, let's just forget it. That might be something they might do at some point if they get no leads and it's a normal murder case. But with what that coroner has just told them about the bodies, they're going to investigate, and he's going to investigate that more just because of how they found them. The wrong clothes, the stuff with the made in China, they've got trainers on, they've got tattoos. The only way someone should have a tattoo in 1950s is because they've been either in a war or they were a docker. There would be no reason military, a child would have a tattoo. So, but that was a fabulous episode. I really enjoyed that.
I feel like made up for the last episode, which was a bit of a slow burn.
It was slow burn,
pummel you in the face with everything that came in
And
this
talking
episode.
of pummeling you in the face, that was rather brutal. I didn't think they were actually going to show it. I thought they were just going to show him with the rock and you hearing it. But that was pretty brutal.
It was, yeah, it was. I honestly expected him to think better of it, but man, Ulrich.
Just as it got to the point when he was thinking of doing it, it just hit me in my mind, and I'm like, hang on a minute, if he is, because we saw him as a young boy with all his face like that at the start of the last episode,
Yeah.
it just showed a clip of it in the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he the one who causes all that scar on his face? And now, no, clearly that he does.
But where is the damn machine? Because it still isn't expected. We have the bodies where they've been experimented on. We know the room where they keep them in is that little cabin bunker thing. But where is it? Because I was convinced that it was the nuclear power plant that was sort of involved in it. And it's not. It's just their energy release that's got involved.
I want to know now. Now they've given us all that amount of information, I want to know more about this nuclear power plant now. Because all they've done is feed us breadcrumbs with the power plant, that somehow it's connected, that they stored a load of nuclear waste, more than what they should have been producing back in the 80s. Then they've gotten rid of it, and now it's about to be decommissioned in 2019. We now know it is responsible for all of this going on, or helping initiate it at least. So I want an episode that explains about the nuclear power plant. I'm hoping that's kind of in the next episode or two that it gives us. Anyway, I think that will do.
Yeah,
that will do for now. Otherwise, we're going to be waffling on all evening. Right, guys, that was episode 8. Was it 8?
Yes.
Yes, 8. We will be back for episode 9 next week. Until then, thank you very much for watching. By all means, post your theories and your comments down below, but please, as always, no spoilers, because this is a very complex show, and I don't want anyone to jump forward and give us something that we don't have yet, because I'm enjoying not knowing what's coming next.
Unravelling the mystery
and unravelling
it
as I'm supposed to be unravelling it. Right then, don't forget to turn your notifications on, hit that subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and we would both appreciate it. Right. We will see you for the next episode very soon. Till then, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's good night from me.
And it's good night from her.